welcome. It's the first Tuesday of the month, so that means it's Project Recipe, and I am on Facebook and not on YouTube, just to throw everyone into mass confusion. So, tried it out with switching up where I went live, since I'm only able to go live to one location right now. And I realized that most of you watch live from Facebook, and most of you are watching a replay on YouTube. So switch it up again. It's always learning, always a learning process. And so I apologize if that is confusing to everyone. Of course I know it is, because I'm like, I'm going to be live on YouTube. So, and now I'm live on Facebook. So that just means that I will download the video after and then post it to YouTube. So that those of you that are used to watching it after can, but it's particularly a challenge, those of you that are available at this time of day, it's just easier for you to watch the live on Facebook. I don't know why my lip looks weird, but anyway. So happy to be here. Creative Memories birthday celebration this week. Also my birthday celebration this week. Also our scrappy friends, Brandy and Kirsten, their birthdays are this week. Lots of birthdays this week. So it's good to be here on a Tuesday afternoon, and it's hard to believe it's already the first Tuesday of the month. That means Project Recipe. So if you haven't gotten your PDF yet, then you will, of the recipe, you will want to register for this event right now or immediately after I'm done at DaytonaAreaScrapbooking.com. I schedule the event to be an hour and a half, and usually my events are only 45 minutes to an hour, so that you have time afterwards to go register for the event, and then the PDF will be in the confirmation email. So you just copy and paste the PDF into your website and search engine and to the little HTML line, and then you will be good to go. Also, the other reason why I switched back over to Facebook is, for some reason, the program that I use to stream, I cannot see any comments when people comment live on YouTube. And like I said, most people on YouTube are watching it, the replay. So this just is, Facebook gives me a better way to interact. Hey Faith, bet you're surprised to see me here live on Facebook. But I'm glad that you have found me, and I'm glad that you said hello and that I can see it. Because like I said, when people comment on YouTube live, I can't see it. I have to have the app open. So anyway, it was a good test for 1 or 2 months, but I'm gonna go back to being live. And the other change I'm gonna make is after so many years of doing my card class at 7, I also switched that to 3. But I think just so that more people can watch the class live, I'm going to go back to 7 for that. So stay tuned for that. We'll see. We'll figure out what works. I've only been going live now for 5 years, and we're still figuring it out. It's fine. That's the beauty of owning your own business. You can keep figuring it out as you go along. All right, let's go through some announcements real quick, and then let's build our page. I'm super excited for that. Many thanks if you have subscribed to me on YouTube. I appreciate that. And that is, like I said, if you're watching this on Facebook, and the other reason why I switched over to going live on YouTube and now I'm back is that these videos disappear from Facebook in 30 days. And that just seemed silly. But most of you, when you're doing your scrolling and stuff at night, if you see the video roll by, you're more apt to see what's going on as opposed to click a link. And Facebook doesn't like to serve up links because they don't want you to leave Facebook. So anyway, you just got a glimpse into the rabbit trail, which are my thoughts daily. Okay, so if you are attending Croptoberfest, and even if you're not, and you like the shirt says "Buy all the paper, mum's the word," Our theme for Croptoberfest this year is mums, but maybe you just like mums. Maybe you want this shirt. You don't have to go to a Croptoberfest to purchase the shirt. But if you want it in time for Croptoberfest, you need to do it by Thursday at 9. So what's going to happen is after Thursday, I will take it off my site briefly. Then after Croptoberfest, I'll put it back up. Just like I have my other shirts up there that you can purchase them. But after Thursday, I will not be able to get it in time to have at the event. And I will not be making any extras. So if you want a shirt for Croptoberfest, then you will need to order that by Thursday at 9 p.m. So October 9th at 9th. And then that will be, for some of you, right after Scrapbook Club. So what's Scrapbook Club? We do a 2-page spread once a month, and it's kind of the old adage, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so for a lot of people, they've never actually created 12 2-page spreads. So by coming to Scrapbook Club, and there's no commitment, you don't have to come, but by some people bought out the whole year, so they're going to get all 12 of these noteworthy simple page kits. But if you're unsure what it's about, or maybe you're new to scrapbooking, maybe you're thinking about getting back into scrapbooking, then you should just come on Thursday. It's $10, make the 2-page spread, and then if you want to join us in November and December, we'd love to have you. And Creative Memories has said they will be doing it again in 2026. So I don't know what that's going to look like for us. If we'll still continue to get together once a month or how we're going to do that. But there's about 15 people, like on average, probably about 10 or so, but 15 people are signed up. So it's a good group. And we go out to eat before at 5. So if you would like to join us, we'd love to have you. Just, you can sign up on the website. And if you have any questions, you can just, of course, reach out to me. Next Tuesday at 3 will be tool time. The 3 new Christmas tools. So fun. We've got the Jingle Bell Punch. We had bells, but not jingle bells. So they were like wedding bells / Christmas bells, but not like these jingle bells. Thursday, I know it doesn't seem to work for you. Well, you've got somewhere important to be this Thursday. Faith. And let's see. We've got the Ornaments Border Punch. Super fun. We have had an Ornaments Border Maker cartridge, but not a border punch. So this is going to be bigger. And of course, you'll be able to see all these things up close and play with them at my open house in November. But the Christmas things tend to sell out. So hopefully they'll still be available by the open house. If you know you have to have them, then you probably want to order them in October, sooner rather than later. And then finally, the third tool that goes with our Christmas collection is the Angel's Chain Border Maker cartridge. And so that is going to be really pretty. So I can't wait to play with all these. Of course, I ordered them yesterday. They are on the way. And Faith, yours is coming as well. Faith won free Border Maker cartridges for a year, and that's one of the things I give away at my open house. So you will want to make plans to attend in person. But if you can't, because we have lots of scrappy friends that live far away, then I do a virtual open house. This year it'll be on Monday, where you can make an appointment and I'll take you through the open house, and that way you can register to win Border Maker cartridges for the year. Croptoberfest, I still just have a few spots left. I will be shutting down registration at the end of this week because I have to order tables. So this event is at the church, is at Westminster by the Sea Presbyterian Church, and they have round tables, which are a nightmare for scrapping with, so I rent the tables, which means that I've got to shut things down like a week out so that I can get those tables ordered. There's a lot of events going on that weekend with Biketoberfest and stuff like that, so I got to get my order in. So unfortunately, that means this week, this end of this week, it'll be shutting down. So if you want to join us for Croptoberfest, then you'll want to hop on over to DaytonaAreaScrapbooking.com and get your seat. And then in a couple weeks, we got Techie Tuesday. That'll be at 3 p.m. And then I've got 2 more spots left for the Volano Beach Retreat. That is over Halloween. And we go trick-or-treating at each other's rooms. And it's so much fun. And I would love for you to join us. We have a blast. And actually, I'll be scrapbooking not from a Halloween weekend, but one year we went in March. And that's when I am scrapbooking today. Here's those open house dates. We've got Saturday, November 15th. It's 10 to 8. Sunday, 1 to 6, after church, 1 to 6. And then virtual open house is by appointment, and that is Monday, November 17th. And then I'll have an advisor event. So if you're a Creative Memories advisor on my team, then you can come to Saturday evening. That's at that ends when the Sunday event for customers starts. Did I say ends? That starts on Sunday for dinner. So advisors on my team will have dinner and kind of wrap up the year. So hopefully you can come to that if you're an advisor on my team. All right, so that's it for announcements, I guess. And now it's time for us to make this project recipe. And as I said, I am actually doing a Volano Beach Retreat, and I was in Connecticut this past weekend, finishing out my year. My birthday was yesterday. And so I forgot to print pictures last week, so I had to print them from my selfie, my Canon selfie. I'm always amazed at how great these pictures come out. I'm not sure if it's the selfie or my camera, my iPhone, but anyway, I think they look great. Let's go to the overhead camera here. Get rid of this mouse and take a look. I have not checked the mic here to make sure. Looks like the correct mic is picking me up. And let's make this project recipe. So this is the Golden Harvest project recipe that I'll be doing. And if you are new here, then you might be saying, hey, those don't look like Golden Harvest colors. And the reason why is because I want to show you, if I can find the project recipe, that you can use any papers for a project recipe. And that is great because, now I need to flip around, that white paper when I held it up just messed with my camera. So all you need is 4 sheets of paper, and you do not have to use the Grateful Harvest paper pack to do this. So the sample is shown in Grateful Harvest, and this project recipe came out when the Grateful Harvest collection was launched. But like I said, if you're new here, I never show it, or rarely. I don't think I've ever shown it with the collection that's that the project recipe is named after, because I want you to see that you can do these project recipes with any paper. I am doing Volano Beach pictures, so that would not match with Golden Harvest. We didn't even do it in the fall. So the other thing to note is I always like to look and see how much of the paper I'm using. So some project recipes, you're going to use all the paper. Most of them are only 3 sheets. And so you're going to use like 3 full sheets. This one, we kind of have like a half a sheet and a little bit, 3/4 of a sheet, and then just one random circle. So like for the circle, I'm just using this, and I just went and got a random piece of scrap paper. So when you look ahead, and especially if you do power layout, and if you're not familiar with that, it's where you kind of, I would put these items in a power layout box. I would say, oh, I want to do this project recipe, and I want to use these papers, and here are my photos, and here's my embellishments, and then I'm going to stick it in the Creative Memories power layout box. And so then when I get to a retreat or a crop, everything I have for this layout is going to be together. Now, that's all except for maybe punches. Oh, I didn't grab my punch. I'm going to have to hop up and grab one. And you can, if you can keep a running list. Obviously, you don't want to put your punches in your power layout box. So you can keep a running list of what to pack for a retreat or a crop. And I like to go over that, at least once a year, power layouts, to help people with their packing. And so I will try to do that maybe at Croptoberfest. Trying to remind people about the power layout, because it's such a great tool, and more I see everybody bringing all of their wagons full of things, and then you don't use hardly any of it. It's so great if you can just bring what you know you're gonna need. And you know what? If you end up needing a black piece of paper that you forgot, you got a room full of scrappy friends that are happy to help you with that. All right, so the way these project recipes work, we've got our finished sample, we've got our finished kind of layout, and they've got these letters on it, and this is our cutting guide. Now, if there's anything tricky, it's going to be down here, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. And ahead of time, again, I've looked at, which ones call for reverse, and if you watch before, sometimes I just will say, no, I'm not using the reverse. But I like to look at the patterns and see what's going to make the most sense. So I decided that this red one, I'm going to cut as my fourth paper. So I'm going to lay that off to the side. I already told you this designer paper number 3, I'm going to use this tan color. Now this one, I looked at where it's used. So it's used like this. And you see here, there's, let's see, G goes up and down, and H and I go this way. So what I was concerned about was the pattern. And now that I'm seeing it, I might have to switch that up. Because even see how this one, we've got one going this way, and then we've got them going this way. So if I cut them all this way, I'm going to have waves going different directions. That is no bueno. But originally I was thinking that this was in sections, and so, which honestly, because it tucks behind, I could probably do that. See, it's meant to be one sheet, one piece. But if it was cut this way, and so then my waves are going, I can probably just piece it that way. Will it be the right width though? You know what? No, I don't have extra. It's 12 by 2. You know what? I think I can make it work out. Oh boy, buckle up everybody. All right, so I'm going to use this as my second piece, and then I'm going to use my black as this piece, because I've got some going this way and some going that way. And so, okay, so my black piece is piece number 1. And my cutting guides, if you don't have them handy and you're trying to follow along, our first cut is a 3 by 12, then a 2.5 by 12, and then another 2.5. It's a 2.5 by 7, but obviously we're going to cut at 12, and then we're going to cut our 7 piece off, and then we're going to cut these little. Now that calls for a reverse, but again, I always like to look and see where it's going. That's going to be D and E, and they don't overlap other peach pieces, so I'm not going to use the back. Obviously, the back is the same as the front. It's a piece of black cardstock. So, but it's not critical to the design, and really one thing I do not like about my camera, that is my overhead camera, is its self-adjustment to the light. I like it when I have something dark, because then it's nice and bright, and when I put something all white, you probably notice it goes dim. I find that annoying. It's like Prime days and Walmart days and all the days, so maybe I need to treat myself to a camera that doesn't do that. So I did a 3-inch. Now I'm doing 2.5 and another 2.5 with my awesome Creative Memories trimmer. And okay, 2.5, 2.5, and now this is going to be 7. Now you can go, if you're lazy like me, you can say, well, 5 minus 7 is 12, so I can cut it at the 5, so I don't have to flip out my little thing. I'm going to put this back in the picture to hopefully make it lighten up. Lighten up. All right, so that's my 7-inch piece, and then I need 2 1.5-inch pieces, and when I'm going small, I like to go this way. So here's my 1 inch, 1 1/4, 1.5. So I go 2 lines over. So 1.5 and 1.5, same place. Whoops, ran over my finger. Okay. So this is going to be garbage, or, you know, I'm just not using it here. I don't know if it's going to be garbage. We don't like to throw away paper. I'm going to keep this in the picture. Keep seeing this background. You know what? I'm just going to I'm using white as my background sheets. I'm going to move them off to the sides of the camera so it doesn't play tricks with the camera. Okay, so that is it for the piece number 1. So those pieces are cut. I'm going to lay them off to the side. Number 2. All right, so on my page, this is going across this way. I want the waves to go across, and so this, we're going to pull out the 6 because the first cut is a 12 by 6. So here's my 6. That piece is done. And then next, I have a 2-inch, and then we are going to punch the border punch. So I'm going to cut off the 2. You know what? I'm not. Because I want to have more paper available for the punch, and then I'm going to just trim off the 2 at the end. So just a second, I have to grab a border punch. Let's see, what do I have in accessible? All right, so I am grabbing, against my better judgment, and the reason why I say that is I hate to show you punches that you can no longer get, and I believe, and that's why I didn't have this at my spot, because I got distracted while I was getting ready, and I wanted to check to see if this one was still available. I don't think it is, and I was gonna get a different border maker or border punch, but this one is on the shelf, and I don't have to go tearing through all the things. So we're going to go with this one because we're at the beach, and I think it's going to look cute. All right, so if you've never used these before, the newer ones have these little lines on the front. Hi, Katie. Thanks for popping in. And so you want to start in between those lines. Now, in between those lines, this is what is punched. So it's showing you what's going to punch. So you don't want to start out here or flesh out here. It's going to take a chunk right out of the middle. So you want to start in the middle. And then as you slide, you want to match up the design with the design out here. Now, this one, not all the punches, but the punches like this that have a repetition in the pattern that might be hard to see where you've ended will have this little caret, you know, a little triangle, a little pyramid on the pattern, and you're going to match that up. And that's so you know where you've reached the end, because the wave is the same. It can throw you off, and you can say, well, did I pull it out far enough? And you don't want to recut over generally where you've already cut, because getting it exactly lined up is very difficult, and that could pose a problem for you. So the key is to make sure that the part inside and on this side is lined up so that you get a nice straight cut. Now, I'm going to save some of my punch poop because this punch, if you're lucky enough to have it, because I don't think it's available anymore, these remind me of little shark teeth. Some people collect them. Some beaches in Florida are known for them. So they're little like waves, but they also could be little shark teeth. All right, so now I have these little bumps. So I need to trim that off. If it was a piece of cardstock and it didn't matter, then I may just flip it over to the other side. But since there's a pattern and I want those patterns to match across the page, I'm just going to cut off a tiny little bit and then do again. And I'm going to go the same. I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, I just noticed this says card class. That could be confusing. All right, I swear, I check all these things. I guess I missed that one. It gets very confusing when people, see it live and then they're like, oh, card class, I'm missing something. Well, gee, it doesn't look like she's doing cards, does it? It's just one of those weeks. All right. So let me get rid of this. And look at how cute that is. That's what those punches look like. They're fabulous for a beach page, an ocean page, a pirate page, such as we're making. Okay, so then this last piece is a 12 by 2. And I should have plenty, but you see why I didn't want to be dealing with a tiny little piece, which is why I opted to jump ahead in the program and cut that, because I would have been, after I cut that, I would have had this tiny little piece left, and it's just, sometimes those little pieces are a pain to deal with. Ooh, this reminds me, in case you missed it in my post, 2 more cartridges are coming out, 2 more blades, so that will fill the bottom, and Creative Memories has said there will be no more, so the collection will be complete. You can see I like to keep mine in rainbow order, so we will weave the last 2 in. One of them's called Twist. Can't think of what the other one is called right now. But I did order a couple extra to have at Croptoberfest. So if you are a collector and you need those for your collection, I do have a feeling that those will also sell out. There's a couple things. I've been doing this for over 25 years. There's a couple things. Sometimes I miss. Sometimes Creative Memories misses as far as like inventory ordering and that kind of thing. But generally, I know that there's a few of you that collect them. And so I try to make sure that I grab them when I place my order, so that I have them, so that you don't have to wait for them. Okay, so this is a 5-inch circle, and so if I go in here, just as I suspected, to create piece J and K, we are going to use the medium circle. So you can see I grabbed all 3 of these. The custom cutting system circles come in the set of 3, so we're going to use the middle circle, and we're going to use the blue blade, and that we will use the outside. I don't think it says the outside, it just says blue blade. Well, obviously if we did on the inside, we get this tiny little circle, so that would be silly. Creative Memories is just, it knows that we're not. We can use our logic here. Hopefully this is big enough. Oof, it is not. So you know what that means. My circle, well, okay, here's what it means. I've got this little half. Now you can see where this is being used. I was going to show you how you can find the middle of the circle with this perfectly every time. But since I'm going to be cutting on the outside of this, and I clearly do not have room because this blade is going to cut. Oh, I keep bumping my mic here. I'm so sorry if that was getting in your ear. So it's going to go off the page. But you can see here, since we're just using a half on each side, I definitely can get 2 halves on here. So I'm just not going to worry about it falling off, because you're only going to see half at one time. So this is how we adapt to our scrappy situation. So it's the right, circumference. I'm going to do it like this because this is kind of a cool scrap to use for something else. All right. So whenever I have to do this, so I love that. And I can do it again. And, if I had another color, I could put that in there. So when I have to go off script, I try to turn it into something that I can use again. Now, here's a little pro tip. I don't do this when I'm cooking, by the way, but things stay contained in my kitchen and they tend not to be covered up. But I'm going to put my blade back in here. I've never lost a blade, but part of that, or one of these, and now I probably will because I said it. But I have had 2 sets over 25 years, and that's because I have no idea why this is in here. Creative Memories, updated these many, many years ago to be a better version of themselves with a little spinny situation. So I still have my original unspinnies, and maybe you do too. And if you do, I always say it's time for you to upgrade. You deserve it. You deserve to not contort your hand with a custom cutting system. All right, now it's time to lay it out. And no one will know that I didn't have enough of that paper. Oh, yes. All right, get ready for the screen to go dark. I guess I can move this out of the way now. Now we're going to lay it out. So I'm going to start with the left side. Oh, there it goes. We went dark. So this thick piece is over here. No. Yeah. I have the wrong piece. This piece is there. And then this piece is here. And why do I have so many of these pieces? Oh, no. It's happening. Oh, I have an extra piece. This piece we don't even use. This is our piece. And this goes on the other side. And, oh, right. Now it's all coming back to me, the plans I made for myself. Okay. This piece is going to go here. Oh, I forgot to cut that. I think it'll look nice overlapped like that. That is going to look so good. This piece is the one that I need to do some engineering on. If you recall, if you were here at the beginning, then I decided I needed to re-engineer this. So I was going to cut here because this mat, where's the mat? Oh my goodness, I never cut the red paper. Oh, time. I need a nap, I think. I stopped at the circle. Hello. So I need 3 4x6 mats. Anyone else catch that? So I'm going to cut this. Let's hold, please, while we finish cutting our pieces. Let's cut this at 6. Alrighty. We're going to cut at 6. And then 4, 4, 4. Well, we're just going to cut twice at 4. 4 and 4. All right. How did I forget that? And then I need a 4x4. Okay, so I'm going to cut another 4. Now, this is where you have, I tend to want to leave a long strip. I personally find I'm more apt to use a long strip than a not long strip. So I'm going to go this way and cut off my 4, and then that's going to leave me with another opportunity for a mat out of that one. Okay, now I was like, what is happening? I'm missing pieces here. Okay. Because this was going to help in my cover-up job here that I need to do. So these go like this. And so I'm thinking I can cut a piece here, cut a piece here, and cut a piece there, and no one's going to know that I did that. So I need to cut 2-inch pieces. I'm going to go like 2 1/4 because, or maybe 2 1/2, because I only need 3 pieces, and that way I can tuck it under those little pieces. All right, let's see if this works. I really just want these waves going the same way, and I will be the first one to admit I may have an issue, but don't we all have some sort of issue? Okay, so let's, oh wait. Here's the problem when you're trying to, like, you got to decide, I'm going to go under with that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this piece at the bottom. Guess I need to, I probably shouldn't have done that, because I'm going to have to get real particular about where that line is. Okay. We got this. So that's going to get covered. See, no one's going to know. This is, oh, I was supposed to cut this at 7, but it really doesn't matter. I can cut it off over here. Let's get the repositionable tape for this one, because we don't use, yeah, we use a full one this way and just part of it that way. So let's put the adhesive on the right side, why don't we? Okay, so that's going to be covered underneath, so it really doesn't matter. Then I'm going to just take my scissors and do like this. Boop, boop. And so that's going to cover that, and I've got waves going the right way. And this one, so it is going to kind of matter, and that's where I kind of messed up by, but I'll just do it like this, because this is how thick it was supposed to be. I'll use that as my guide. And hopefully I haven't lost you at this point with all of my craziness. But I want to give myself as much wiggle room as I can. I want to go to 2 inches. I want that to be straight. All right, that's good. So again, did I put these waves upside down? I kind of did, didn't I? It's hard to tell with this paper, isn't it? Because you've got, it just like depends the way your brain goes. Like that to me looks like clouds, and that looks like waters, but it really could be, it could be anything. All right, so I think this is gonna work. We've got this, and then this last little piece, I mean, again, I'm only doing this because I really wanted to use this paper and I have issues and I didn't want my pattern going the other way. But if you are the type of person that kind of thing doesn't matter, and you're like, that was just too much work to make those going the right way, sometimes I ask y'all like what I should do. And but I knew I couldn't live with those waves going the wrong way. So even if those of you on today were like, "Yo, it's fine. Don't worry about it," I would have had to change it up. Okay, what did I do with my half circles? Here we go. Because I don't want to forget to put that in. So you can see here, this J, that goes right there. So again, like this is a mess under here, but guess what? Nobody is going to see that, right? No one's going to know what was going on under there. Except for you all. But if somebody did not watch my live, they haven't. So I've got to put that one right up against there, but that works. Look at that. Perfect. All right, here's my square. Okay, now here's something else I did. I printed an extra picture. I'm not going to stick this down yet because I want to see how the extra picture is going to work out. But I'm already love the color combination, the black, the white, the teal, the red. It's going to look great with my pirates. All right. So our next, no, this one we're not using, Tara. This one goes here. Gosh, I cannot get that black down fast enough. Like, hold on, camera. We're coming with some dark. All right, here's that. Super excited about the way this, here it is. Okay, so this is going to go down here. Let's get the repositionable. Okay, and I just kind of covered up that little black seam there. Get rid of any. All right, we've got this little piece that comes down right here, and my other little circle piece that comes out of here. Now it's almost touching there, but it's not. Good thing I used the repositionable tape on that. I can just kind of pull this up. Oops. It's all right. It's okay. I'm not going to see it. I'm going to kind of go underneath here with this. Whoops. Come on. That will get covered. And this needs to move up a little bit for the love. Thank you. I agree. I really like the way this is turning out, except for this mangled mess I'm making under here. Okay. I need a little bit more of that showing, and none of this mess is going to show because I'm going to cover right over it. And perfect. Okay, so this is all my extra, right? I think so. I haven't decided where I'm putting that square yet. Now I've got these little pieces that, so they go here and here, and they're like notched out according to the directions. Yeah, they've got little tag ends. We'll see how that looks. I'm just not being, it's piratey. It doesn't need to be perfect. I'm gonna lift this up again. Let's put some adhesive under there. And then for the fun part, because we got to put our pictures on. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, that works. Let's get some adhesive on that, and then that goes like this. Okay. All right, so here's what we got, and now we're going to add our pictures real quick. Okay, let's talk about pictures on a project recipe for those of you that haven't seen that before. So on the project recipe, there are measurements, 3.5 by 5.5 for these ones. So actually, for all 6 of these, 3.5 by 5.5, and then this one is 3.5 by 3.5. Now, I like a thin mat, so I usually add 1/4 inch to all the measurements. So then 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. So basically, I just take off 1/4 inch. So, and I didn't even bother with the selfie. They have these, what's that called? Perforation. But I didn't even take the time to take them off because I knew I was going to be trimming all of these. You know, a lot of times I don't, take a picture of the hotel, and this was right after they painted it. So the hotel used to be kind of brown. They gave everything a nice fresh coat of white paint. And as I said, if you were watching at the beginning, this is where the retreat will be for Halloween. The Halloween retreat is at Volano Beach, and it's just steps from the river and steps from the beach. I go in the mornings and watch the sunrise, and I always invite everyone. And this morning I had 2 people join me because not everyone likes to get up that early. But this is the pier, so we walk to the pier, we walk to the beach. I mean, and it's all like a half mile within each other. It's so great. Okay, this is the one I think I'm going to be cutting 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And this is our friend Katie and our friend Ruth, who sadly is no longer with us. We lost Ruth recently, and that was so sad. And so when I saw these pictures come, that was when Ruth promoted to Citrine, and Katie too. And I love this little picture of them. And I love Volano Beach. You know, Volano is one of my smallest venues. And so as a business person, it kind of doesn't make sense that I continue to do it there just because it usually sells out. Although when I have it over Halloween, I really get the diehards because some people just can't, be away. And I understand. Some people get really into Halloween, and so they can't do that weekend. And it didn't always fall on that weekend, the first weekend in November. Sometimes more like 3rd, 4th, that kind of thing. But anyway, I just love the location, so I can't quite give it up. All right. Okay, so I've got this beautiful sun. So I was going to do pirates on this page. And where's the dinner picture? And the dinner, although these are kind of backwards, although I could just swap them. Why did I do that? That will look fun. I think that's what I'll do. Oh no, can I though? Because I'm going to reveal my mess if I do that. So I can't do that because I will reveal my piecing. And so that's a problem. Okay, so even though I really want to, let me see. Let's see. Let me see. Let me try. I could do like that. They're not going to line up. But I think I can do it. Let's do it. I like it better because I have chronological issues as well. Welcome to this episode of What Are Tara's Issues. Where did this come? Oh, that came from up there. It's like, where did this even come from? Okay. So I don't even think I'm going to end up using this. I was supposed to use 2 of these, and I'll try it both ways. But I'm not completely, sold on that. All right, don't tell everyone we did this. I'm going to go as far as I can. And I'm going to have to move this because now that looks silly. I'm going to tilt it the other way. I can do this. I guess I will. Because I like a thin mat, it's barely, it's barely any red. It's not like it's detracting from anything. Okay, so then this one I've got to trim down to 3 3/4. Okay, I'm sure Ruth and Kathy won't mind that I take off their butts. And now one thing about that selfie is I don't love when photos curl like that. I do love, thank you, Katie, for giving me that feedback. I think it looks great. And then we've on this page, so I don't usually do as many pictures of like the scenery, but again, it's just something about Volano, just so pretty. So we got our group. And I did print an extra one because this sunrise is so fabulous. So I think I might do another square over here. And maybe just, it's a sunrise, so maybe. And then I can use the white gel pen down here. Now I might want to come back and trim these just a little bit more, even though generally I don't. How are we on time? Oof, gotta go. I got to go because why? Because I love this paper. It's a problem when you love your paper, and I don't want to cover it all up. So I'm just taking off another little 1/8 of an inch. It's just a smidge. But it will just give me a little bit more of a mat. And I think I like it like this. And that is the crew. And we'll figure that out. And we are almost done. Just a couple more pictures to lay down. Hope you'll stick with me to see the end. That's Murph and Jen. Yeah, if you do like to get out and go for a walk at sunrise or sunset, like I said, this layout has both. Has our sunset. We always on Thursday night go to this restaurant called Beaches, and we have a beautiful, I'm trying to get as close to the edge as I possibly can with this adhesive. I think maybe I'll go with a square to mimic. and I'll line it up that way. I'm kind of sad because this beautiful punch, I really kind of covered it. Maybe I can move this up because that was the same morning. Maybe the sand, the waves can lap on the sand. I just don't want to cover Murph and Jen. Okay, I can do it. This poor border, do you remember what it was like on this end? Oof, I have really put this border through the ringer today. All right, I'm gonna go, I don't want to cover their feet. Just gonna get the sand, little edge of the sand there. Okay, and that is how we maximize layout. I'm going to show you the project recipe again, and you'll see I always try to squeak on 1 or 2 more pictures onto the 2-page spread just to maximize our area. Okay. So the original recipe called for 4, 5, 6, 7, and I got 9 pictures. So I was able to get 1 more picture on each. And just real quick before we go, so this is the Epic Adventures Embellishments. Again, believe it's still available, and I will put in the comments after. But if you have kids, so there's pirates in here, there's robots, there's dinosaur, there's like, okay, so this beep bop boop, so here's horseshoes, here's dinosaurs, there's like superheroes, and there's pirates. So it's called Epic Adventures. There is paper that goes with it, astronomically awesome. Here's treasure. Oh, here's little tools. I love this. So if you go to like Kennedy Space Center, let's build. Here's the shuttle. Here's Saddle Up. So all kinds of, and I don't want to say boy stuff because I was a shop girl. I took shop. We live close to Kennedy Space Center, so those are super. Of course, Wonder Woman, and I mean, girls like dinosaurs too. But I specifically have had my eye on this pack so that I could use these. So I've got the treasure, and I've got a little treasure map to put, and I've got this pirate ship. And so, of course, I think I'm going to put, I feel like I have to have the treasure, the pirate ship, and the treasure over here. I'll overlap that. So I'm going to use all 3 of these little pirate things. Yes, Faith. I mean, it's such a great little embellishment pack, and because it's called the. Is it like I should put this in the waves, but I don't have room in the waves for that. But that would have been super cute. What was I gonna say? Oh, it didn't have, its own collection, and it's part of the line that's out, and I try to keep it in stock because it's so cute. And then like when people stumble onto it, they're like, "Oh, I think I need this." There's ones for girls too. That's like, I see again. I don't want to say that, but there's like dress up ones, and they're really cute. All right, well that is our Volano Beach Retreat pirate page. And if you've never retreated with the Memory Maniacs before, maybe this is your sign to join us at the end of the month. So I hope you enjoyed that project recipe. You still have time to go to my website and register for this event because it on the website it says it goes for another half hour. So you still have time to register for this event. You'll get the PDF. You can collect them. You can print them. You can save them in a folder. And like I said, they are so great for when you just have run out of ideas and you don't know where to go. So I literally print my pictures to go with the project recipe. kind of it goes hand in hand. Like I know every month for Project Recipe, I'm doing a retreat. So I look at the project recipe that I'm doing and then print the pictures that will fit in those spots. So you can do what works for you. You can see that I am able to get on a couple extra pictures. So you can print a couple extra pictures, but for power laying out, they're such a great tool. So anyway, that is all I got today. Thank you for being on here if you're watching live, and if you're watching the replay, thanks so much for doing that as well. I appreciate each and every one of you supporting my small business by watching my lives, watching the YouTubes, ordering from my website, showing up at my events. Appreciate you. I cannot believe that it's been 25 years that I've been doing this. I truly count myself blessed to be able to do this at my own schedule, and hang out with you ladies. So thank you very much, and until I see you again, you know what to do. Stay scrappy, my friends. Bye-bye.